Hello there. Welcome to another talk. And this talk is called What is Mindfulness Meditation? Very important talk to talk about, and like I always say in my talks, that if you're new to my stuff, whether you've just found me on YouTube or a website or whatever, I had an unexpected spiritual awakening at the age of 24 and 34 on my birthday, so just under 10 years. And I didn't know anything about this kind of thing. My mum's a clairvoyant and psychic medium, but this stuff was completely different to anything she'd known. And I had to find out what it was myself. But to cut a long story short, I started to meditate. I didn't even know anything about it. And one of the first things was think of nothing. And the mindfulness meditation was happening all of a sudden. And then I discovered later on it was actually called mindfulness meditation. But this path of mine was very organic. Like, for example, I didn't know all the different names of it. And, you can manifest your own spiritual awakening by simply acknowledging the real you. And the real you is not this physical body, this experience. The real you connect with it through your heart chakra. By feeling, intuition, insight, clarity. Connect with your heart. And that is tuned in to the core, the source of all life, which is the real you. But this links into mindfulness meditation. Because like I say, as soon as I had the spiritual awakening, I started to, my awareness was changing. Because the awakening happened because I sat down one day and had a moment of authenticity. I just had enough. And it was such a powerful moment that I saw, it's like I had a glimpse of myself in the future, and then the awakening started to manifest. But I was never authentic before, you see. I never meant it. Once you mean it, that's when the awakening happens. And so I was doing mindfulness meditation at that moment without realizing it. And authenticity plays a big role in mindfulness meditation. Mindfulness meditation, best explained, is merging your rational self, your rational mind, with meditation. Meditation is focusing upon a certain subject, situation, person. It's merely the power of presence, the present moment. If you actually just be present, you'll start to feel this energy, this powerful force, and that's meditation. So mindfulness meditation is merging that power with the rational mind, the rational self. And this is very important today because there's not a lot of that, you see. There's a lot of virtue signaling, there's a lot of obeying government, there's a lot of madness. I was saying this about this time last year. I remember done a talk about this time last year, saying how everyone was in absolute hysteria. But if they were doing mindfulness meditation, they wouldn't do that. But that's what mindfulness, a lot of people don't know what it is. Mindfulness meditation is the merging between the rational mind and meditation. And so you're taking the two together as one. So it means that you're using the present moment and the rational mind with that. So if you think a thought, you will slow it down and you will use presence. to help you understand. When you're present and you have a thought, you then start to be aware that your thoughts and our manifestations, everything's a manifestation of your subconscious mind. So when you start to do this practice of mindfulness meditation, you start to realize, you start to be aware of your subconscious issues, that some people would say past lives. I would say everything's now. And what this does is it helps you to heal from being aware of these things. You then start to have more clarity about who you are, about who you really are, not the experienced self. You start to get insight into healing, and this leads to ascension as well. Awakens energies within you. See, the chakras, people talk about the chakras, and mindfulness meditation can awaken it all for you. The problem is most people don't practice mindfulness meditation. A lot of people will say, you hear them say, oh, what does that mean, mindfulness meditation? Well, it just means what I've just explained. It's the merging between the rational self and meditation. And merely meditating using your rational self and your rational ideas. That's why when some people hear Eckhart Tolle, they say, like my dad says to me before, he's just saying rational things. But yeah, but that's rare in this mad world, you see. You see, all spiritual awakening is actually just your rational self coming through. Because you were mad before, right? See, we live in a mad world, so actually before there's starting to be more spiritual awakening since 2012, but before that, it was just a new age thing and people thought they were crazy, but it actually was the other people that were crazy. It was the people that weren't doing mindfulness meditation or any sort of meditation that were actually insane. The ones that just like just now, obeying the system without thinking about it. They're not in the rational mind. If they were in the rational mind, they would say, wait a minute here, something doesn't add up. You know, these vaccines haven't had long to be created. You know, someone's not right. That's an example. That's an example of not being rational. The censorship, you know, whoever's in charge of censoring people online, that's not being rational. You've got to allow people to have freedom of speech. You see, so mindfulness meditation is very important to talk about. And like I say, my journey began as a spiritual awakening, but you could merely awaken through this, you know. Because that's what happened to me. I had this spiritual awakening, I sat down, had enough, and then I was doing mindfulness meditation without knowing it was called mindfulness meditation. Everything became rational and clear all of a sudden. Because it was the first time in my life I had actually been authentic. And yeah, and so then it manifested an awakening. So I know this is what it done for me. So it wasn't, you manifest a spiritual awakening when you decide. It's what Will Smith says. It happens when you decide. And yeah, and then, you know, once you start doing this mindfulness meditation, like I say, you start to tap into the true I, the true self. You know, this is how you can ignite your pineal gland. See, once the energy centers are ignited, they awaken themselves and they align themselves. The more you practice presence, i.e., mindfulness meditation. You see? Like Eckhart Tolle always goes on about in the present moment, you know? And if you think of all the times you've been happy, whenever you're happy, you always want, when you're happy at that moment, it's the present moment. But that's the source of the happiness, you see. And mindfulness meditation is merely just using presence, the energy and the feelings of the present moment with any situation going on. You know, and this is I mean, mindfulness meditation is very well known now, so I'm not the only one that speaks about it. And what this does, like I say, it helps you to be clear on things yourself, where you're going, and you got a better idea of the future when you're using the present moment, i.e. using mindfulness meditation, which is just using the present moment. And when you're using the present moment, that's why the rational mind comes through, because when you're present, you see things more clearer. And when you see things more clearer, you feel more better in yourself, you have more energy, you're happier. And this is ultimately how people talk of chakras. That's how you align them. It's all about presence. It's a hard thing to do. I mean, I was probably one of the most non-present people ever, and I still am very impatient, you know. But you could say that I'm getting better, I think. But that's all we can ever do. And you know, and like with me, you know, it started from a moment of I've had enough. And that's what it has to be for you. It has to be a moment of you've had enough of everything up to this point, and now you're going to let your soul lead the way, and you access that power through mindfulness meditation. I was watching a David Icke talk the other day, and he was saying that an energy healer said that they were healing someone and they were so detached from their soul that they were actually, their soul wasn't attached. There was no attachment to the soul. But what's happening just now is people have had spiritual awakenings, and their job is to just share this, share their knowledge, share what they're going through, and the planet's going through a global spiritual awakening, you could say. But it's up to everybody to actually ignite, access that power within themselves. It's not going to happen from some separate savior, because you're the savior. No one's coming to save you. But I'm just going to leave it there. For latest talks, news, research, songs as well, I have a website. My website address is www.lovelightfamily.com. Thank you.